Hey, what's up, guys? So the update happened, and now we are in the live update. We have the little hourglass down in the bottom right there. So we are accumulating divine gifts every 30 minutes. And once we get a whole bunch of those, probably around 100, I'm going to do a video of opening them up here on the live server. So it'll probably be a few days for that. But I'm going to talk about one of the other features in the update, and that revolves around the 24 by 24 scarecrow and why it's so good. You'll see here, especially for any land barons that have over 5 or 6 properties that are connected and kind of holding up space. You see here we have 5 16 by 16 scarecrows, and the taxes on these guys are 10 each. But once you get over 2 buildings, your tax go up by like 5. So the first one is 10, this one's 10, and then this one will be 15. So that will bring us to 35. This one will be 20, which brings us to 55. And then this one is 25, which brings us up to 80. And again, if we have any other buildings, which we do on this account, we have a building down here, we're going to get taxed heavier as well. But just thinking, if we have only these 5 right here, that is going to be an 80 tax certificate required per week to maintain all this property. The 24 by 24 is a large plot of land. We don't have one yet because it does cost a lot of materials to make. But you can see what we can do is we can replace these guys here, put out our 24 by 24, and put 2 of them out. That will cover up almost the entire ground, and will still give us about the exact same farming area as 5 large farms together like this. So you can see right there. And the reason you'd want to do this is because the tax costs on these guys are only 15 each. So that means for putting 2 of these large farms down, which are the size of the thatched farmhouses here, which are 24 by 24, your taxes weekly are only 30 tax certificates versus paying 80. So that is a huge tax benefit. So that is a 50 tax certificate saving every single week. We'll take a look at why people don't like the gazebo, and it's because it costs a lot to make. The gazebo farmhouse over here, it requires a large scarecrow, so 16 by 16. It requires 3 of these land expansion certificates, which are the most costly things to make in the game right now. When you go in here, you need a land expansion permit, and you buy that from the NPC for 300 gold. So that's already a big hefty cost. And then it also requires 100 bound tax certificates, which is a lot of labor points to create those. So again, you have to use your labor to create these guys. So pretty much what people did is they factored in all the other construction materials as well to make these guys, because you do need 5,000 proficiency, and so you got to make these yourself to get your proficiency up to 5,000. Once you make all these guys all cost 100 proficiency. You'll definitely have 5,000 proficiency. You can see it evens it out perfectly. 20, 35, 45, and now 50. So you make all those, you have 5,000 proficiency there, you use 5,000 labor. These guys, after breaking everything down, comes down to 400 labor, or 4,000 labor. The total cost for everything here is, I believe, 17,000 labor points, and then 900 and some odd change in gold required to make this. So that's a lot of labor, and that's a lot of tax certificates. You can see that's 300 tax certificates. We need times 3 of these guys. So people are going haywire, like, that's too much, I don't want to do it, that's crazy. But we just calculated why it's so profitable. In 6 weeks, it will have already covered the tax benefits by removing these 5 large scarecrows and planting out 2 of the gazebo scarecrows. We will save 50 tax certificates every single week. So after 6 weeks, we will have saved 300 tax certificates, which is enough to cover all the initial costs to make this. So after 6 weeks, you're going to be receiving a huge benefit in profit, tax-wise and labor-wise, and you're still going to have all the enormous land to farm on like you just did here. So if you do have large scarecrows anywhere, especially that are adjointed together like this, setting up big fields of land, you're going to want to change them out for these gazebo farms, gazebo scarecrows, or even if you have a couple of the large scarecrows out in the world right now scattered around, you may want to go around and search up in Aurora and some of the other PvP zones and find just empty 24 by 24 spots and put down a gazebo farm scarecrow, because it's a lot cheaper to maintain tax-wise than it is to maintain a couple of large scarecrows. And again, especially if you add in other properties, you save so much more money tax-wise and labor point-wise by condensing down into 3 or 4 properties rather than having 10 on one account. So there was someone on the forums who was saying that he has 10 scarecrows and land plots throughout his character, and his weekly tax certificate rate is around 500 tax certificates. And he said if you were to convert some of those down and make 2 gazebo farmhouse scarecrows, he would only be paying around 250 in tax certificates, so saving a 250 tax certificates every single week. So in like 3 weeks, he pays for his his gazebo farms like that, and then everything after that is just all this extra gravy and extra bonus labor points and tax certificate credits that he's going to have on him. So definitely convert your land into a gazebo farmhouse. It is a little expensive, but don't let the sticker shock here pull you away. It is a great investment, especially if you have multiple properties out there. And like I said, if you have 7, 8 farms and properties holding things, you might want to just break those guys down and then find 24 by 24 location and then plant down this gazebo farm design, because it is a lot more cost efficient to do that. Alright, thanks for watching. If you have any other questions, please let me know down below in the comment section, and then like, share, and subscribe. I'll get you out all the latest and greatest here in Archeage.